Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an actual Wednesday night edition of AEW Dynamite Sidecast here on the Mike Drift Twitch channel. Play a little tongue-in-cheek there for the fact that the last AEW Sidecast was actually on a Tuesday. So it's actually been 8 days since we've had a Dynamite show, and honestly, it's felt a lot longer right now with everything going on. First of all, great to see everybody here, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on VOD, whether you're watching on YouTube. We do put up the simulcasts a few hours after the broadcast is complete live on Twitch here. Seems you guys have been enjoying it, so thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Just a reminder to everybody that we are raising money for Jack.org for them to help out youth and young adults with dealing with suicide, dealing with suicidal thoughts, dealing with all the nasty stuff that comes along with it, anxiety, depression, and whatnot. They go and it's not about trying to interject in situations where that's happening. It's more about teaching people how to become part of the solution rather than part of the problem when it comes to suicide. You want to be part of the solution, as in you want to help make things better before it gets to that point. So if you can help out in any way you can, it would be greatly appreciated. Our goal is $1,000. There will be a stretch goal involved at $1,000, which I will kindly explain on November 6th will be when I would announce that, right after Rick Jules has his extra live stream finish up here. So got to help out the fellow Backbreaker Gaming dudes and dudettes. But also, speaking of helping out, we got merch too. As you can see, I am wearing the ever so lovely Part of the Solution t-shirt. You can pick those up at our merch store. The link is in the chat. For those on YouTube, I will try and do a better job of putting those links in the comments for these shows. So, but yeah, a crazy week, crazy night coming up here for AEW Dynamite. We got basically a JAS versus Blackpool Combat Club. I think this might be the third week we've been focusing on this here, where we got Sammy Guevara taking on Bryan Danielson, as well as Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli taking on Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia. Now, I really wonder if this could be a third or fourth turn when it comes to Garcia, going back and forth. On top of that, we have Jon Moxley defending the AEW Championship against Penta. There is no way in hell I can consider that a win for Penta, but I digress at this point. As well as we're getting FTR taking on Swerve and Our Glory for the number one contendership to the Acclaimed. This one really could go either way. It's good to see FTR back on the Dynamite TVs rather than hanging out in ROH, hanging out in other promotions, hanging out on Rampage. Hey, I want them back on our TVs, not everybody else's TVs. So to me, that's the ultimate goal for me here, and I'm glad to see we get to see FTR back on our screens. It's going to be a hell of a match. Keith Lee, Shane Strickland, Dax and Cash, that's going to be absolute magic. And then speaking of magic, we got Riho and Jamie Hayter. I know Shadow to Cloud is going to be over the moon with that one coming up here. So that's actually going to be a lot of fun. And it's good to see Riho back on the TV. She was the one that helped out in the early days carry that AEW Women's Championship. And unfortunately, due to COVID, the Joshi portion of the AEW roster really didn't get a chance to blossom the way it really should have. And I wonder if this new IWGP Women's Championship is going to have a nice factor to go with this here. Because, we're looking forward to some great action coming up here tonight. But like I said, it really is... I would love to see what happens with this ROH or the IWGP Women's Championship, and see if it does make its way over across the ocean over to AEW to be defended on TV a little bit. I would love to see that. I think this might be a way to get Tony Khan to open up the booking strings and get the women involved a little bit more here. Bit of a slap in the face to the current women's division, the fact that they got to bring in somebody from Japan to get more exposure on it. But you know what? I'm at the point where I don't care where it comes from. Just get it. Just get it in there. Get it going. Because we're definitely looking forward to having some great action coming up here. And the rumors right now that Mercedes Varnado is... going to be the challenger at Wrestle Kingdom. That's some of the interwebs. I've heard stuff like that. So it would be nice to see if her return to the ring would be at Wrestle Kingdom. Could you imagine? That would get eyes on Wrestle Kingdom, and that would definitely be a bit of a blow to WWE when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So, because WWE, is going to want a part of having Sasha Banks involved in their programming once again, even though they just can't get it. But yeah, other than that, it's supposed to be a very good show here tonight. Full Gear is coming up, so we're going to hear from MJF, of course. He's on the poster for the show tonight. But I don't think you're ever going to see a promo. Well, MJF's been killing promos left, right, and center. But I think this might be a little more subdued tonight because basically when it comes to wrestling, there's ebbs and flows. There's, a little bit up and down, keep it going. If you keep going up like this, you're just going to burn yourself out eventually here. If you really want to take a crowd for a ride, you bring them up, take them down a little bit, then really bring them up, then really down. It's not a straight pattern when it comes to dealing with promos like this. So I really do hope that this week's promo, while it's going to be strong coming out of MJF, it's still going to be... I got a feeling it's not going to be as heavy as one would expect. So I expect a rather lighter show tonight. So a lighter show in terms of pushing towards that match. I wonder if they're going to put the tag as the main event. That's probably most likely. If they're not going to put Penta and Moxley as the main, they might open with Penta and Moxley. Could be all over the place here in terms of what they're actually thinking about deciding here. Other than that, a lot of New Japan stuff coming up. There are rumors that the situation involving the Elite and CM Punk is starting to clear up a little bit here. There might even be a sighting of the Bucks here tonight. The Bucks and Omega. I will say probably the one person that would benefit most out of this whole thing coming out of All Out and the suspensions and the investigations and everything that's going on, everybody forgets that Kenny Omega has come back early from his injury to be a part of that trios tournament and to win those trios championships. Now, if you can settle things down and give Omega a little bit more time off to heal up and to get back to a little closer to 100%, whether it's unfortunate due to the suspension or fortunate due to the fact that, you know, the suspension's probably been done for a while, but why do they need to? That's almost one of the advantages of having a roster here like they do for AEW. The fact that you can take a team like the Elite out of there. Well, don't get me wrong, the Elite are one of the best factions to come into wrestling ever. Ever. It still gives them time to chill out, to relax, to basically set themselves up for a situation here where they can be a complete 100% in terms of health. And now that you've introduced the Kingdom into this, which you very well could have Adam Cole as part of that, I honestly don't think it's going to happen here tonight. Mainly for the fact that he was streaming this afternoon. And I don't think they're going to do... I don't think they're going to do a quick flight from Pittsburgh to West Virginia. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty decent flight. I apologize. I'm not 100% sure in my geography. Wow. My English speak good. In terms of my geography there, but trying to remember exactly where they are tonight. I should research a little bit more before I start, but I don't. I just one thing about this stream, and I do hope that you guys appreciate it. I do it as a fan who's had some knowledge of the backstage workings of wrestling and how wrestling works in many cases. So it does alter a little bit of what people see and what people think. But I'm just here as a fan. Like, I know a lot of people want these big insiders that give all these insights. You guys go touch some grass once in a while. All I want to do is see some good wrestling, and I want to hang out with some people that want to watch some good wrestling with me, and we can talk all about it. We can speculate, we could dream book, we could do all this. It's great. I don't need to be the guy that runs around trying to figure out everybody's secret, what they ended up eating for dinner last night. I don't give two craps. Give me a good match. That's why when all this backstage stuff comes up, I get it. I listen to it. You got to deal with it. But at the same time, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, guys, we are the alternative that can just put out some good stuff in the ring. We don't need drama. Drama's well enough in the WWE right now. So, and by the way, that's why I'm pretty sure that regardless of what the legal action ends up being, Punk's not going to get re-signed. Punk's not going to be... You're not going to see Punk in a ring anymore. I love drama. I remember when they got the first Molten Core takedown. Nice. By the way, good to see you, Jupiter. It's been a while. I know you've been busy with work and going to AEW in Toronto. But how was the experience there, by the way? I should bring you on here one of these times just to talk about that, but came back to night shifts. Ugh. Aren't those the best? Just seriously, like... And it's 6 o'clock. I guess I better turn the channel. Sorry, folks. I've been watching the Raptors game, so... There we go. All right, so the intro's on. I just want to sync everything up for you guys so you don't know. And there's the pyro. So they're slower, but I can't do anything. Yeah, like, well, if nobody breaks any if there's no fraud, you can't find it. That's all. AEW was crazy though. Dude kept making me cheer for Bob. Good old Bobby Fish. And you'll never know who Bob is. I'm saying Bobby Fish. Well, maybe that's just me, but no, not Bobby Fish. That's the only Bob I know. So which one are we starting here first? Are we doing the tag or are we doing the Danielson and Guevara? Oh, Bob's the production guy that works rings. Okay, that makes sense. All right, we're doing tag right off the bat here. Dasha and Justin Roberts both like Bob, so they want everybody to cheer for Bob. That makes sense. All right, well, let me throw on 10 minutes here for our opening one. Now that I've learned that I can actually shut these down early if I need to, it's actually great. He would bow in response to the cheers. Like, hey, it's no different than, a ring announcer locally giving Stuart Garvey a pop because he would bend over and sweep up the ring once in a while. Or more effectively, Judge Ben Omen. Judge Ben Omen's got a pretty good sweeping style. I think he might need to get into some curling some days. Hey, Ms. Astrid, how are you doing today? Hope everything's going well. Hopefully everything is... I'm glad that everything's starting to level out a little bit for a lot of people here. So how long do you think they're going to go keep singing Judas? Is it just going to be for basically until he changes the song? Or do you think they're actually going to, fans are going to start getting tired of that? So is this serious enough that Regal will go down to ringside? That's the question I have. Nope. He's going over to commentary. Exhausted from work. I feel like I haven't been paying attention to AEW as much. You know what? To be honest, this is one of those weeks where AEW, you don't need to pay attention as much, I think. It's been rather quiet, which actually for AEW in some circumstances might not be the worst thing in the world. Because frankly, there are rumors that the lawsuit, all stuff is getting... Oh, casual Riho enjoyer in the crowd. Did Shout make it out to Dynamite tonight? Yeah. Oh, you just sent me... Okay, I see. All right, I want to see this. Ha! They actually bring the production guy in the ring. I love that. I love that. No, great to see you guys here tonight. Yeah, I think the biggest stories coming out of last week with AEW is actually doesn't even involve AEW. It's more ROH. The fact that they have set up their Final Battle pay-per-view for the afternoon of the 10th of December. Which now we know why is because NXT is playing their final takeover for later that evening. Tony Khan announced that it's because of the Heisman ceremony being that day. But then later on we heard that it appears that there's going to be a takeover schedule for that night. Maybe it'll be a Seasons Beatings takeover. Love that Hager's still wearing it. Did you get a chance to see what happened with Hager and the boys when it came to that hat, Jupiter? Did you get a chance to watch the TV broadcast of Dynamite? Because they actually told the entire story about how Hager absolutely loves that hat. And as soon as the boys took the hat off Hager, he basically went into Hulk mode. Oh, you didn't see that? Okay, yeah. So basically, once the boys went out after... sure was on the screen. Yeah, well, there's so many things going on there. So when Aubrey was looking at Hager, Hager's pointing to his hat. So what is he doing? He's trying to distract him by saying he loves the hat. Oh, you've been drinking. Okay, fair enough. I'm not gonna, I won't blame you one bit for... it's all about the experience there, and I'm pretty sure you had a fun time there, right? Well, this is Toronto, right? Like, Menard was over. Well, pretty much everybody in Canada was over, right? Everybody from Canada. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a surprise to a lot of people that happens. So, but that pop for Sean Spears, like, I went back and watched that promo by Spears too. Or I don't know if we could really call it a promo when it comes to talking about a story, like just real life, right? Just talk about his mother and wanting to spend time with it. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing here tonight, my friend? Good to see you here at night as well. So Jupiter's got a story about that story. That's gonna... halfway through the week, so good. It's really weird. Like, personally right now, like I've mentioned to you guys before, it is my Saturday. But coming up in November, it's like I'm working every weekend, but I'm also... When it comes to the weekend, when it comes to the weekdays, I got the majority of them off. Like, I work Halloween, and then I don't work a weekday until Remembrance Day on the 11th. So when he started saying 6 months ago, the crowd started to cheer. Then he said his mom died and everyone went silent. I didn't know how to act, so I booed really loudly when he said his mom died. Oh, damn. That's one of those awkward ones, I think everybody can attest to it. When you have a conversation with somebody and they just start getting into some dark stuff that you don't want to... You really don't know how to respond to, and you're just trying to move on from it, right? Move on the conversation to something else as humanly fast as possible. Those are the worst. And I could just imagine, like, by the way, I just want to throw it out there as a 2-minute warning on the predictions here. If you guys want to get your points in, see if you can make it bigger so you can play some music or have me put somebody over. That's another big one as well. Don't forget, get your predictions in now. Hey, Mel, how are you doing today? Hopefully everything's going well for you. Saw that you were working out with Unicorn Slippers today. Saw that online there. Do Unicorn Slippers make you lift more? That's the big question right now. Actually, chat, I'll throw this out to you guys. For those that work out, is there anything like, I'm not talking about scientifically, you got to use this, or this. Like we could be talking about Rogue Energy or whatever you want, whatever supplement you want. Is there some kind of tradition or some kind of habit that you have to get into? Or something just a good omen that you have to do to help you with your workout? Like, do you have to put on the certain pants? There you go. Jupiter, you always have to start with cardio. Okay. And I know myself, when I was doing my workouts pre-COVID, I was always told, get your work in and do your cardio after. So, but it always felt weird, you know. As we're back into the regular programming here. Always have to listen to your workout playlist. That's a big one. Music's always a big one. My God. Claudio feels like a man amongst boys. I think that's the best way to explain it. He's like a man amongst boys out there. It's amazing how underappreciated he really is. But with Claudio, it's just have to do dance warm-ups, has to stay positive, have fun. That's cool. If you really want to have a good session pre-workout, makes you feel better, like you're cracked out, and the only way to relieve pressure is to lift heavy things. I get it. I will say this. I did try a supplement company. If for the OGs that have been around here, like Jupiter and shout out to Cloud, that Canada guy, they know that I've been with a supplement company before, and it was funny because I was actually with them and it was a monthly thing. And it would take them 3 months to get my shipment out to me. So I'm like, yeah, no, this is enough of this. Yuta's been really standing out here over the last few weeks now. Had to deal with that. You know what? It happens. Like, to be honest, when it came to dealing with that first company, nice tag team DDT there. You like your... Here's another story for you. Because Magic Spoon screwed up and didn't put my apartment number on the... Oh, nice code breaker off the ropes by Jericho there. Magic Spoon didn't put the apartment number on my package. It got sent back. So now I'm waiting... Now I'm waiting for my order to come back a second time, so... Jesus, Yuta. Oh, there's Floyd. Here's the shenanigans. Uh-oh. Jericho's on his back. Oh, no, they didn't refund me. They actually sent another package out for me. So now I'm just waiting for that second pack. Well, let's put it this way. The first pack when you're dealing with Magic Spoon as a sponsor, that was free. You just had to pay for shipping. Yeah, I saw the same interview there, Jupiter. That apparently one of the move is to take it. People hate taking the swing. One of the best pre-workouts on the market is Workout Fit. Yeah. Well... Everything that TJ does is pretty much gold, right? So AEW has shenanigans too. Didn't know you had a House of Torture. Oh, where are we going? Let's get the first one shot tonight in. Okay, that was weird, but I'll take it. Castagnoli actually hit the neutralizer. And got the win with it? Holy crap. Holy crap. Yeah, I got to throw this out here. It's funny when you don't get the shenanigans involved. And Mel, just to let you know, Jericho's whole shtick in his group is the fact that they act like WWE, so they have to have shenanigans in every title match. In pretty much every match that they're involved in. So... Ha! Regal. Gotta love Regal just turning around saying, yeah, I just want Jericho to lose. I don't care about anything else. They are sports entertainers at all. True, fair. Yeah, I'd go with the Jericho torture. Watching Jericho sometimes is a torture itself. Really? Yeah, that's what I was thinking it too. Claudio even looks taller than like a daddy there, right? This is the first... What the... What in the hell? Guys, what did we just see there? What is the Elite gonna play like? You know what? The Elite might be going back to the OC Bullet Club, like not that OC, like the old school. We're taking over. We're not AEW anymore. Could you imagine just having that attitude of being, we were here, we put the foundation of this company, and you turned your back on us. So now to hell with you. We're going to take it down and make it our own. Could you imagine that? I'm in. I am absolutely in here. What do you guys think? I think personally, the E and AEW interfere. Yeah, that's a nice point, Astrid. Because without the Elite, it would be AEW, right? That is a very good point, Astra. It did disappear in a weird order there. Thank you for cleaning that up for us. Darthvik, we're good. We just had a very interesting promo. If you didn't see that there with oh, thank you for the sub, whoever subbed there. I do appreciate it. Sorry, it just flashed up on our screen that we're halfway there to my goal here. So it was just a promo talking about, like, basically how, if the Elite was snapped out of AEW, like Marvel snapped, it just, yeah. So we'd end up with AEW, which makes sense. And yeah, that, it burned from the middle out. That makes sense, yeah. And then we get Danhausen burgers. I don't know if that one applies or if we want to do this one. Yeah, Marvel Snap is the easiest way to explain how this happened. You do realize that this is now going to blow up the internet. You wanted to talk about some bad stuff blowing up the internet? This is the good stuff blowing up the internet. Because there is no way Tony Khan's going to announce that he's getting rid of these guys. Was that the boom mic or was that a guy from the back? Oh, please let it be Samoa Joe next week. Please let it be Samoa Joe next week. Okay. Well, at least they're being honest about that. All right, let me get this next prediction up, and I'll... For Darthvik, who just popped in here, I want to make sure that you get what's coming up here. They did I think it was one of the Bucks did one of the... it's like an off-screen promo just showing different scenes of what happened with... Swerve in Our Glory and FTR. All right, predictions are up once again here. Yeah, so they basically put up different scenes of what happened, like the Omega and the Bucks at the introductory press conference. Them winning the Trios Championship, winning the Tag Championships, Omega winning the Heavyweight Championship. But each one of them looked like they were Marvel snapped. And they're sitting in the background. What if there was no Elite? What if there was no Omega? What if, right?
I'm better than you.
Whoa! Darthvik! 7 months straight saying you do good work. Yeah, okay. But thank you. I appreciate it, Darthvik. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here tonight. I do have to find out why that alert's not working properly. And I'm probably going to update my alerts anyway, so... So, what do you guys think? Guys and girls, what do you think? Do we get FTR to win the championships and then maybe at Winter is Coming and they end up at the Tokyo Dome defending all those championships against the Young Bucks or something? There are so many no. I think they will end up all the belts. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they'll have all the belts. Oh, so everybody... Oh, nice. So they've actually been able to get their Scissor Me back from Mark Sterling on Friday. They didn't get Max and Mike. Oh, that's horrible. So many Scissor Me Daddy ass chants. You wanted FTR to win. Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted to see that. FTR beating the Young Bucks for the tag titles. So I think this match actually could go a lot further. This could go a lot further to determine the storyline for the rest of the year. For what we're going to have happen for not only Full Gear, but also Winter is Coming. Because I get Winter is Coming is like the PLE of AEW, the last one of the year. So if Swerve in Our Glory wins this tonight, you could see the rematch at Full Gear and then have Winter is Coming show up for FTR after the win, right? They should do a match, 5 teams. First pinfall gets 1 set of belts. Second pinfall wins another. You only do that, like something like that. Like, I'll tell you, the last time that actually happened and it worked successfully, I'm going to go back all the way to WrestleMania 17 with Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle for the Eurocontinental Championships, where Jericho ended up pinning Benoit for the European Championship, and Benoit ended up pinning Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship, and Kurt Angle ended up getting screwed on both belts, so he didn't get a chance to he didn't physically lose either one. So hey, Dr. Wario, yeah, I'll say this right now, I prefer Tony over JR at this point. I don't... Throughout career, don't get me wrong, JR, one of the best ever. But right now, Tony just feels like he's a little more straightforward in the game right now compared to what JR is. Like, to me, JR, even with as much experience, they were actually going to try Shatter or Big Rig there. Sorry, I almost call it Shatter Machine. I don't know if that's a swear word or something going on here. He's loving his job more than just working it. Jesus! Frankly, to me, JR reminds me of a lot of what I would be if I got back in and just started calling matches right now. The biggest difference between what I would be doing and what JR would be doing is the fact that he has time to prep for his shows, and I frankly don't. You can call a pretty good match without any prep if you know what the hell you're doing. And that's one thing I prided myself about the most when I was doing play-by-play and color commentary and various matches. But it was one of my biggest issues of myself is the fact that if somebody wanted to build like a long-term storyline or there was a last-minute change or something, I didn't get the opportunity to adjust, to adapt, to have a different style about it. And to me, that would be an ultimate fail when you're doing commentary, right? Well, this is yeah, that would be rough. Yeah, well, it's not as rough because when you're dealing with like, well, hell, you look at the wrestlers that are in the ring right now. It's not hard to see what story they're trying to bring out here during the match. And that sort of comes back to more of my favorite type of wrestling. Like, I'm not a big fan of the spot, pin, kick out, quick. Where I call it video game wrestling myself. It's where all the moves are just there to get your moves in, and then hopefully one of those moves makes it enough that you knock the other guy out. Just like you do in a video game. You could cheap out on the same move 1,500 times and eventually you're going to get the guy, but you're going to lose the crowd while you do that. Jesus! That Keith Lee double chop. Like, I'm sorry, that I wish there was sound at this point when it comes to that. It just, ugh. So just a reminder, we're just under 2 minutes left. Get your predictions in while you can. Looks like FTR's got the heavy money here. If you want to get in on Swerve on Our Glory to pick up a decent payday on your own, now's the time. I love the fact that the Gun Club are just there. Just... It's funny. I actually listened to their Undisputed podcast with Aubrey and Alex Abrahantes was there that week. And they talked about how they felt it was so important what their job was when they were out in the crowd during the COVID days. And of course, Dax is going to get the hot tag. So when do you guys think that Swerve and Keith Lee are going to finally break up here? Is it going to be tonight if they lose to FTR? Because that very well could be the case here. Nice roll through on the roll through. I'll say this right now. I really do wish that Dax would have got a little bit more consideration that PWI 500. Because if it's based solely on the body of work that you've been involved in, I don't know if anybody really had a better year than Dax. Singles or tag, really. Like, the only thing that's held him up right now is booking. Okay, that was weird, but okay. He slipped down. He's like, screw it. I'll do the crossbody anyway. And in my opinion, that's not exactly the worst thing to do in the world. Wow, Jesus. Nice combo there. Crumple. But I really love that high angle on that German by Dax there. Allowed somebody to go up real high and collect back for their own fall here. Nice kick. Oh. Don't pull his trunks down while he's trying to make a tag there. Damn. That was a nice double team there. And Lee's legal. Really? Holy crap. Even the guns are like, what the hell? Nice hurricanrana on the big man. Oh, I don't think he meant to slip there, but he did. Oh, reversal and into another reversal. Holy crap. He was going to get it one way or the other. That was a very fun sequence. No way. That was just a collapse. You know, as much as we aghast about all the storytelling in AEW, like, just watch this, you got to be impressed. Some of these matches, they do it in bursts. And like this one, they have a little bit of a spot, a little bit of break, a little bit of spot, a little bit of break. But now we're back to that story of, you know, Lee's the big man and Lee's in charge. And now Lee's getting desperate enough, he's going up to the top. Or the second rope at least. That was impressive and a solid ending to match. That would have been a solid ending. We haven't got to that yet. I don't know if you're ahead of us here. I like how Taz put that, trying to suplex a refrigerator. There's no way. No way! Oh my God, he got it! My God, they hit the power and glory. Lee did everything he could to get him over there. You got to be a good couple minutes ahead of us then, Dr. Wario. Because we're still trying to set up here, see if we can get the big rig in. Nope. Oh, nice back kick there. They got it. That's been the story all match. Can they get the big rig? No. You're in full commercial already? We just finished up the big rig there. Oh, right in front of the guns, too. Okay. Oh, and there's the fight. Oh. Damn. So like I said, we got a bit of a, well, sorry to you 4 people that put in money for this, or points. Because you just lost. Oh. I got to say that this is actually pretty brilliant storytelling, depending on how you want to work things out here. So Swerve and Our Glory still gets their shot. It's a hell of a match. I just wish they didn't have to finish it on a low blow like that, right? All right, Saraya, get the name right. Okay. That's the most physical I've seen Renee in a very long time. Oh, so we get JJ's favorite spot of the night here now with the ever-loving Maxwell Jacob Freeman about to come out to the ring to do his promo of the night. Wow, 45 minutes in already. We only had 2 matches. 2 good matches, but 2 matches. We still got 4 more to go yet, so because we got Moxley and Penta, which I'd expect they'd only give him about 15 minutes for that. You got Danielson and Guevara, which will get 15-20. Of course, you got Riho and Hayter, which should get about 30, but it'll get about 10. But I will say this. It is actually starting to flow a little bit, and you actually are starting to see, I hate to say it, but some of these promos that they're showing in between matches are very similar to what you're seeing on the other side. Like what they were starting to show with little clips of with WWE. But here's the thing, and I think we could all start nitpicking about what this product has similar to this product, similar to this product. It's all wrestling when you get down to it. You just want to see good wrestling and how it's presented. And our biggest problem, I would have to say, and I don't want to speak for all of you, but I have a very strong feeling is the fact that you didn't see the strong wrestling. You didn't see the good drawn out stories in Vince's WWE. Now the Trips is there, starting to get a little better. Assuming Halloween Havoc was a pretty decent show. I skipped through a lot of it. I watched a lot of it. the fact that the champions are still the champions, like, I get it. It's an old school feel to that still, but to me, it almost feels like it's time to pass it off, but they're just waiting a little bit too long. Personally, at least in my opinion. But now the fact that they've written Dragunov off this week with... Renee's got that look on her face. Like, how aggressive is she going to get with MJF? All right, well, that ended that in a hurry. I think he'll continue to right the ship. I agree it's taking long, but Triple H... Ha! It's 2022. You got to cheer for the devil. Wow. Wow. Does he go into a spot about Renee and John? Oh, Renee's going to do something. Renee's going to do something. Oh, God, here we go. Oh, God, the mid shirt. MJF beat MJF. I love this. Renee's got to be loving every split second of this. Uh-oh. All right. Interesting here. Well, he lies. Okay. I'm glad that he finally brought Penta in there just because of. Just because Penta, you know, they got to make this feel something. And then I'll take it to WWE in 2024. Oh, God. Ray, just get the hell out of there.
Perhaps you got a little bit comfortable since you've known me for a very long time. So, Virginia, we're going to cut Stokely some slack, huh?
That's why you gave a free boo or something?
Past Pentagon tonight in the main event. At full gear, I need him 110%. So him and Regal and all his weirdo fanboys got no excuses when I beat him in that ring. So you don't go near him, you don't lay a hand on him, hell, you don't even look at him. Or you're fired.
Oh. So MJF is the one that gets hit then. I almost guarantee that. There's a curveball right there.
My super over catchphrase. In 3, 2, 1, because my name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and
All right. You know, this promo right here, like I said, it couldn't have been the home run. I mentioned this during the pre-show. You don't want this one to be the same kind of home run that it was last week, because you want to build. You want a little bit of an up curve. You don't want it to go. If you go straight up, you're going to burn somebody out. Oh. Okay. I'll take this. Matt Taven and Wardlow, you got my ticket. And Joe just stands there approving, which I do not blame him one bit. I love the fact that the OGK are in. Oh yeah, you know, Sammy should be every video games fan's favorite wrestler. Well, outside of Kenny, of course, but let me get this one up for you guys. JS versus BCC2. Sammy. All right, let me throw 10 minutes up on the clock here for you. This is a first-time matchup? I thought these guys would have faced each other somewhere before. But I guess with the way the timelines worked out, when Danielson signed up over at the Fed, that actually makes a little bit of sense, but... Oh, wow! So, folks, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but Danielson came out the heel tunnel. Like, both teams came through so maybe Danielson's, like... I guess he's a little bitter after everything that's been going on here, so I don't mind him at this point here. Well, Guevara just straight up... Hasn't he been coming out that tunnel for the last few months? No, I thought he's been majority through the face tunnel. Maybe last week, but no, definitely not the majority of the time. He was doing the heel tunnel before the Blackpool Combat Club, but once he came in there... Guevara just all over Danielson. This is weird. Like, I get it. I think they're going to play the story that Danielson can't beat the JAS. But the fact you hit... Guevara hit Danielson with his own finisher to start off the beginning of the match, that's actually pretty... And Guevara's got every counter. I will say this. When you can take Sammy, shut his mouth, get him in the ring, and just let him work, he is an absolutely phenomenal wrestler. His biggest problem is when he shoots his mouth off the way he shouldn't. He's had enough suspensions with that. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole Eddie Kingston thing is horrible. And he shouldn't have done what he did, but there's got to be a reason why he did it. Yeah, Zodiac, I'm with you. He just straight on needs to grow up, and maybe married life will do that, but... When you're married to a wildfire like Ty there, I don't know. I will say this, Ty, he seems married to someone who also needs to grow up. I will give Ty credit for one thing. I don't know her. I don't know her character. I don't know her personality outside the ring either. But I will say this. In the era of OnlyFans, she decided to go with a Brand Army website instead. I know to a lot of people that won't mean a whole lot, but the fact that she went to a website that just plain old clean says right off the bat, you get nudity, you get blocked. You get removed. It's the same site that Cassie Lee is set up with. Like, it's a brand company. Basically, it's like OnlyFans pages, but with other people that, you know, like I said, it's all custom names and whatnot. And I'm too cheap to subscribe to any for anybody that's asking right now. But yeah, I agree with you guys. Like, they're very young, and just with Sammy's attitude, it seems like he's got a lot of growing up to do. Ty, well, she's had a lot of life experience to go through already. Basically coming to America without, much in the way of language or... Too cheap to sub to OnlyFans too. There's too much out there that's free. I don't have time for any of that stuff. I don't want to get into it too much, but I'm too busy trying to get both a wrestling and a gaming channel getting going here, so I don't have time for that stuff. Speaking of which, after we're done here today, just so you guys know, I got a little unboxing from Nintendo to do tonight, so if you guys are interested, feel free to stick around. I've actually learned that I've turned into a bit of a controller whore, so I got a couple controllers coming in straight from Nintendo, so if you want to take a look at what's in my box, you can check it out after we're done the stream here. Ty wouldn't take the bullet for him? Come on. And Guevara again with the knee right in the face. And Sammy with that pose. So he got told at age 25, 26 to be one of the pillars of the company. How were each of us at 25? I know I wasn't the most mature person, and if my ego was set ablaze like this, I can't honestly say that I've handled it responsibly. But I like Zodiac's counterpoint too. The other pillars were told that as well, and they haven't done stupid stuff like this. Like Sammy really needs to channel himself in and get himself back in order here. If you ask me personally, like, he just seems like that free spirit that says whatever he wants and does whatever he wants. And that very well could be a reason why he doesn't have a championship right now. Because you tell me you couldn't put that TNT championship and keep it on Sammy here, and he wouldn't be a role model for the company with that look that he has right now? Between the look of Sammy and Ty walking around with this championship, you think that's not going to draw eyes to your company? Dennis Rodman was on a team with Michael Jordan and still did his stuff. Each person's wired different. Hey, I'm with you, Darth Vic. Like, I get it that everybody's going to have their own personality, absolutely, but you can't do anything to make it detrimental to yourself and to your product, right? Yeah, it just means he won't be rewarded like the others when he grows up. That makes about the perfect sense here right now. Like, in many ways, I could see Guevara being the X-Pac of AEW as things go forward. If you're going to bring somebody into the company, you're going to try somebody out, you're going to get them into the ways of what AEW is really like, you send them over to Sammy and have a match with him. Yeah, it was Darby, Sammy, Jungle Boy, and MJF. You're right, Zodiac. And then for a while there, they were trying to replace... I think they're replacing Sammy with Britt. Which honestly, I think might actually be a smarter choice, but that's just me. Feels like he might be getting his life lessons now that he didn't get a chance to have when he was younger. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I will admit, the guy's had some bad luck, but he's also provided his own bad luck. Like proposing to his wife proposing to his fiance on Dynamite, and then just a couple months later, he's hooking up with one of the wrestlers backstage. Replace Sammy with Garcia and I'm down. Britt works too. Yeah, like I'll honestly say I'll take Britt over Garcia in this case right now. And even you could put Garcia in the place of Jungle Boy in many ways right now. I think Jungle Boy will be a great wrestler in the future, but I think the pillars that carry you right now, a guy like Garcia, I think I would put ahead of Jungle Boy. And same thing with Britt. You need to have a female wrestler in there as your pillar if you want to be a successful company in North America. Despite what Tony Khan thinks or at least appears to think when it comes to his booking. I think Darby won't be alone in 5 years at this rate. Replace him with Cargill? Alive. Oh. You know, we've all said that about Jeff Hardy too. The only difference is Darby's a clean. As far as we know, Darby's clean. Every match Darby's involved with, he pretty much looks like he's going to die. But one thing you will notice about Darby right now is his match rate has actually gone down a fair bit, I would think. And see, this is the part that frustrates me with Sammy. You want to have him as one of your pillars. You see him pull out the stuff like this. Don't overlook Jamie Hayter. I'm trying not to. The thing is, she's overshadowed by her own stablemate. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the women's match, but... And that's just booking, I get it. But at the same time, Hayter may become part of the pillar. And Sammy landed again. Guevara doing the video game wrestling, and this is what I love. The LaBelle lock, yep, we're... Yeah, when it comes to Hayter, I could see her eventually being in that spot, but for right now, you gotta call a spade a spade. It's Baker right now. It sucks that Adam Cole's not around to be a part of that, but Sammy over rotate and land on his knees. That has gotta hurt. That has gotta absolutely hurt. Like, watch Sammy's knees here on the replay. Landed on that right knee. Oh, and he's going for the GTH. Poison Rana at its best there. Sammy sold that one. And Astrid, I got your picture there on Twitter there. Yeah, it definitely was the E that got burnt out first on that promo. And Ty's going to get over to the corner there. Oh, that's out. It's so funny to watch the Combat Club just mow down everyone. Like, realistically, the Combat Club should go 3-0 tonight. But every time you see it, it's still consistent enough that there's enough of a compelling story there. I love how Excalibur throws out that random question while Regal's still there. You shouldn't ask when the manager's still in your presence.
Phoenix, tonight your brother Penta has an opportunity at the AEW World Championship. How do you see tonight's main event going?
My brother, of course, will be a double champion, right, Alex? That's right. Tonight, Penta's going to defeat March for the AEW World Championship. Sorry, man. You know what? Penta and any member of the Death Triangle could be a double champion. Also, me? Yeah, right. I think you should become the next AEW All-Atlantic champion.
Uh-oh.
Is that what you think? Alex, was it? Yeah. Maybe you didn't hear last week when I said that my right hand of destruction, Luchasaurus, was going after every single person that had a championship in AEW. You see, Luchasaurus has been walking through the opposition,
Okay.
including Jungle Boy, who pinned you. So if anybody deserves a chance at the All-Atlantic Championship, it's my right hand of destruction. Do you understand me? Oh, really? Yeah. Y'all talking about me?
Ha!
You two talking about this? Well, next week, let's do this.
Sounds like we have a match.
I love how Cassie just comes out and he's like, "You're talking about me? You're talking about me? All right, let's have a title fight."
Next big time grudge match. Jamie Hayter and the former AEW Women's World Champion Riho go one-on-one next.
All right, well, unfortunately, we're back. Well, like we were saying before, it's back and forth. I'm going to run the ads right now while we're in the middle of a commercial break, just so you guys know. But we are... we're running back. It seems like every second week they change the time slot for the women's match. We're back to that 9:15 Eastern slot for Hayter versus Riho. Let me get the prediction up here while we got a split second here. Alrighty there. Let's throw 10 minutes on the clock here. But yeah, we it seems like they're alternating back and forth between the 9:15 slot and a different slot as we go along here. I don't mind that. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to vary it up a little bit. But until they consistently get away from this spot for a few weeks in a row, I think a lot of people will still be upset about it. I'm upset that they still only have one match, or they only have one women's match per card, and maybe a promo segment. And I really do hope that they get that to change. But the other thing we actually have to consider as well is a lot of these match times would have to be cut down to get another women's match on you, which I don't mind personally, but a lot of these wrestlers would need to work hard to get more of their shit in, right? Pardon my French, but I think they can do it. They're all professional, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, will anything feel rushed if you start adding more matches to the card? I guess it all depends on the type of match and whatnot, but I really do want to see more women's matches on these, it's especially on Dynamite. Rampage gets the odd 2. For any of those that live in Canada, you know it's not as easy to get to see Rampage as it is compared to Dynamite, because Rampage we have to log into the internet and through TSN online, and yeah, anyway, that's why you don't regularly see me do that. So CTK has pitched an ROH show, an All Elite Women's show to Warner Bros. Discovery. Yeah, I saw those reports, and they're actually pretty interested. So we're going to have to wait and see till, well, I think they do the showcase for the spring in December. It's right around that same time as the Game Awards coming out, which I believe is the 9th of December this year. Can't be bothered with Rampage for that reason. Exactly. That's where I'm at. Because like you'll even see me stream regular games on Fridays. Which, speaking of which, I might be on this Friday night. We're gonna see. Let me just throw it out there right now while I got a split second here. My next stream tomorrow, I'm not sure what time it's going to be. Truth be known, I was supposed to have a apartment inspection today with my property management group. Unfortunately, they left a sign on my door saying they're doing it tomorrow afternoon. Or else I would have streamed earlier today and did a double here today. But stay tuned to my Twitter. I'll let you guys know when I'm going to be going. Unfortunately, I have to go pick up a consolation prize for one Mr. Rick Jules. It's at Staples, shipped over from the UK. But everybody has to say, you know, when I make a bet and I lose, I'm more than willing to pay up. Okay, there's only one thing I'm gonna say right now. I'm a little, I don't want to say upset about, but a little concerned about. And I don't care which gender we're talking about here. Don't wear the same color gear to the ring. It's not like Jamie doesn't have multicolored gear. Same with Riho. When you're at the top sections of the building, sometimes it's a little hard to see who's who. Yes, I understand the differences between the two ladies here, but when you're that far away, it can be a bit of a headache. But let's get into this. We were talking about this earlier when we were talking about the 4 pillars. Jamie Hayter honestly has that ability to become that pillar. It all just depends on how she ends up getting booked, how she gets out of this feud with Britt Baker. Hey, Jaron, good to see you here tonight. Beating the Pacers reminds me of the good old days. I apologize. I haven't watched much of the scoreboard there. There it is. 75-57. Nice. I'm more worried about the bloodbath known as the Raptors and the Sixers going on tonight. Well, to be honest, I was watching that as part of the during the pre-show here until Dynamite started. So, Jaren, you're back to work. The surgery's fully recovered. You're back to work. Life is good. I am glad for you, my friend. I know it's been a hell of a long time here right now. It's funny, every time I go through my games on my Xbox and I see Killer Instinct, I'm like, I'm dying to get on there, and I just think of you, Jaren. Like, I really do enjoy that game. I just never... Oh, nice. My God, that is unique. Like, flip it all over the place as we do here. Talk about Jamie Hayter being one of those pillars. It's stuff like that that impresses you, that when you could do basically you could do a snap curtain call. Because realistically, that move is what Dustin Rhodes / Goldust would do, right? But Hayter just snaps it off that much quicker into a pin. But Hayter's got all the building blocks to be a foundational player here in AEW. She's got the looks. She's got the ability. If they give her the chance to talk, she's got the ability to talk as well. And the other part is, she just looks so smooth in the ring. There's a thing about knowing every move and knowing what to do with those moves. But at the same time, you can be very herky-jerky when you're pulling off those moves in the ring. And I was mentioning that a little bit earlier when we were talking about certain wrestlers being brought out to the deep water for some of their matches. Like, we were talking about that last week. Like, anybody can have a great basic match, but when you start getting into those heavy-duty matches where you got to keep up with everybody and you got to make yourself look good doing it, there are very few that can do that. And it just, Hayter seems to have it. Baker seems to have it. Storm, for the most part, seems to have it. Thunder Rosa, depending on who she's facing, seems to have it. I don't know if I want to go there that much about it, but... Oh, sorry. I thought the picture was done there for a second. But yeah, if you could build a women's division around having Hayter, having Saraya, having Baker, you could throw Storm in there, you could throw Cargill in there. And if we could get an AEW women's show and give these ladies 20-minute matches like they deserve, you're going to know real quick if you got a women's division or not. Because it's like building up any other team. Going through the top 4 or 5, that's a given. You're going to have good talents there. It's what do you have in that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hole there to Oh my God. Riho still got the reversal. That was nice. It's almost like she was going to land on her head and Hayter just saved her there. Dr. Wario WWE actually did flirt with the picture-in-picture during the pandemic era. They actually did run that for a few Thunderdome shows. So they have run it. I don't think they're going to continue on with it just because they want people to see their product as different as everybody else's. Because trust me, if they could have a choice, I guarantee you during those premium live events, they would prefer to have picture-in-picture versus those 5-minute promo segments. Because for a lot of people that don't realize, if you're watching something that's on Peacock in the States or, well, essentially a network special on internationally, those 5-minute promo spots that they have on the like on the takeovers, on the pay-per-views, where they're basically just doing a segment on a certain wrestler at a certain time, that's because Peacock is running ads during that time. So if you don't have... God, I love that move. The teardrop brainbuster. The reason these promos are like 5 minutes long is the fact they actually are running 5 minutes commercials. It kills the momentum of a lot of shows. And I think it would get very frustrating for some companies, but I love that teardrop brainbuster when it's done right. And it's funny because if you... Okay. Riho over rotated there. That's what I was talking about. The smoothness just... And I know Hayter and Riho have worked before. But when it comes to this deeper water thing here, like, that's what I'm talking about. Little spots like that, you cannot have those mistakes. And I want to give full credit right here to Britt Baker. How many freaking times does she have to get her face broken for AEW? All right, that's how we end it. Oh my God. I thought for sure we're going to end it with a powerbomb there. But how many times has Britt Baker had her nose broken because somebody screwed up a move? Like, that's why she hasn't been wrestling much lately, is the fact she's working through injuries. All right, that was something. Jesus! I did not expect Riho to pull off a snap like that. But like Excalibur is explaining it perfectly here. The body positioning of Riho gives her an advantage on a move like that, which works out really well. So many counters for the ripcord. And there's the third. My God, Kid Cock Brody, eat your heart out. Even Okada got to be jealous of that shot. When she hits that ripcord, like, seriously, that's got to be... I love the fact that somebody's using that as a finisher, too. right, Tony, what do you want? Please tell me we're finally going to get Storm and Hayter for the title. Please tell me we're going to get that. She just come out to pose with the title?
Hey guys, joining me now is Kingston. Hey, Eddie, last week on Rampage, a few friends did quite concerned for you as of late. How are you doing? What's going on with you right now?
I'm great. I'm wonderful. That little thing that we had where we talked and everything. Look, my coach.
I love Kingston in so many ways.
Anyway, let's talk about John. Let's talk about Moxley and his big match tonight. How about that one, huh? Let's stop worrying about me for a second, please.
All right, well, tonight, Jon Moxley will be putting the AEW Championship on the line against Pentagon Jr. What do you think about this matchup?
In all honesty, it's gonna be hard for Johnny, man. Respect to mucho money, Pop. Be my man, but I think Johnny's gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And everyone else, leave me alone.
Ha!
All right, well, Eddie, thanks so much for your time.
Sure.
Back to you guys.
What is Kingston? Okay, that made absolutely no sense. Madison and Ty, okay. Then okay, Matt Taven and Wardlow. I'd love to see that match. Next week we get Darby Allin and Lethal, so we get another Darby Allin murder. Oh goody, another Darby dead promo.
As you can see, Sting hasn't been here in quite some time. I'm gonna tell you a little story why. About a month ago, I went up to Sting and I told him, hey, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with where I'm going. I'm not happy with who I am. I just want to crawl into a hole and disappear from the world. And he says, you can't do that. And I said, why? Why can't I do that? And he told me, because you're Darby Allin, a former TNT champion, the man that convinced me to go out of retirement. And I said, if that's the case, then let me prove myself by myself. And fast forward last week, Jay Lethal comes up to me and says, I have an old friend that knows your biggest weakness. Well, Jay, you can tell your old friend I already know my biggest weakness, and my biggest weakness is myself. It's been since day one I was born, I've been dancing on thin ice. I have no safety net, I have no comfort zone. Tell your old
I love how he's showing videos of him almost dying.
and tell me to my face what my biggest weakness is. Well, Darby, it seems you need to worry a little bit less about our friend and a little bit more about the fact that we have a match next week. And if you thought last week that beating we gave you was something, you ain't seen nothing yet, Darby. You're in for a rude awakening. Is that what you really want, Darby? Don't piss me off. Let me tell you something. If that's what you really want, be careful what you wish for, because next week, sure as hell.
Okay, Sanjay, sounds like you're in the match.
Next Wednesday night it'll be live in the ring on Dynamite. Plus, we will have the Daddy Ass birthday
Aw, Daddy ass birthday bash. So, this All Atlantic Championship, is it always going to be defended in three ways? That's going to be interesting to see which former ROH champion they get. It's going to be fun on how they set this up here. So once again, like I said, during this last commercial here, I'll run the ads so that we're not interrupted during the matchup. So I don't know if this is a cover-up ad with sound or whether it's just overlay that they put on. Either way, so far I'm not going to say blow the doors out night of Dynamite, but actually I find it's a really good show tonight. You had a pretty good match with Riho and Jamie, setting up Tony and Jamie hopefully in the future here, which, yes, please, I'll pay for that ticket, thank you. We also have the Blackpool Combat Club attempting to go 3-0 tonight versus the last match here with Penta. I think we all know which way that's going to go, but I'm going to throw the predictions up here. Actually, I should do that while we got a second here. I'm just going to put Moxley and Penta. This is straightforward. I'll throw 20 minutes on here. If it ends up early like it did last time with Hangman, we will cut it off early. Yeah, other than that, very straightforward matches. I guess I can get a few plugs in here while I'm going here. I just want to remind everybody, once again, we are raising funds till the end of November for jack.org. Jack.org helps by going to high schools, youth groups, colleges, and teaches about seeing the signs of anxiety, depression, suicidal tendencies, and tries to help teenagers, young adults, and frankly, anybody that'll listen on seeing these signs, and more importantly, what to do when you see these signs. Because it's more important to, once again, be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem, right? I guess I should have moved the mic out of the way. If you guys want a clearer picture of that shirt, feel free to take a look on our merchandise page. All purchases from now to the end of November, the net proceeds will be going to jack.org as well. I'll be making that donation at the end of November. We do have a stretch goal of $1,000 by the end of this, and I have a very interesting stream planned for if we get to the $1,000, all based on what you guys have been saying over the last few months here. So now I want to bring up something that one of the illustrious members of the Backbreaker video group brought up online here earlier today. Should this match, instead of being a title match, should it be an eliminator match? Because it being a title match, I think don't get me wrong, I think the money's right where it should be right now. But I think this might be straightforward. But if you have an eliminator match where the winner gets a future title shot, I think that would put this match a lot more into doubt. For the more fact that Moxley might end up losing to somebody, and then when the title's on the line, he could be undefeated all he wants, but you could put somebody over big time just by letting him pin Moxley in a non-title. And I think Penta, I would think Phoenix would be more of a guy to do it to, but Penta definitely doesn't have to be a second fiddle to anybody, right? So. Oh, and for people that are waiting for the sound effect, I forgot to edit it because, frankly, since that clip is 20 seconds, YouTube flags it for DMCA, so I'm just not going to play it tonight. But I will still say, I hate this song. I do like those hoodies though, those jackets. So here's a fun one. I'm just going to throw this out here because this is a sports related comment, and I'm looking at the track jacket and I'm just. It reminds me of something I saw earlier today. So the Canadian national men's soccer team, the CSA, the Canadian Soccer Association that runs that team, when the men's national team, who is going to Qatar for the World Cup here, in just over a month, was done their training sessions, they were asked to return their training gear, wash it and return it, so that they could give it to the U19 team instead. Rather than buying, like, is it just me or is it completely asinine that a national team can't afford full tracksuits in a country like Canada? Like, I saw that today and I nearly floored myself. I would like... Yeah, Dr. Wario, it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll agree with that. But I find it... I wish that AEW would have taken the picture post-match of Penta. You know, I don't know if you guys saw it. He's completely bloody in his face, and he's holding the mask of Yano 4 just like a villain. That seriously could... That's something that would absolutely go over so much fun. So they're actually going to Mohegan Sun. That's why WWE doesn't go there anymore. That's pretty much right. That's near Titan Towers there, that Uncasville, Connecticut, right? Like pretty much as close to a home game as you can get. Shot to the stomach. That's... Oh. I was trying to go for the destroyer, but I like these counters. Yeah, I knew that was coming from Moxley. That one you could see pretty much a mile away. Oh, a knee right upside the head to Moxley. That sucks. All right, we got our picture-in-picture here. While we got a second here, I also want to give a shout out to AEW for, you know, not forcing the obvious, but not skirting around it either. When it comes to Renee Paquette, like she's out there talking about the match between Moxley and Penta tonight with different people, and it's pretty safe to say that. I think everybody in the world knows about the relationship between Moxley and Renee, you know, married, kid, etc. And the fact they're not hiding it. Like, everybody knows it, they accept it, they move on. They're not bringing it into a storyline at all. And even when MJF was starting to get a little bit too much into it, he pulled the mic from Renee and just told Renee to go away, which I think is probably the classiest move of the budge. But it's really going to be interesting as well to see what happens next week between Saraya and Britt Baker face-off with Renee conducting this interview because, well, he got a fan's hat. You're not supposed to steal fans' hats. So they have to put over a 20-minute match up here. So I do appreciate the fact that they're pacing this one out at a very decent pace. They're not going overboard. I really hate that they're doing the please be quiet spot when they're in picture. We can't listen to it anyway. Ow. Ow. And ow. Yeah, Penta don't feel no fear, but he definitely feels pain. I hope people realize that. Hey, the Raptors won. I like that. Sorry, I screamed into the mic a little bit there. Sorry, folks. Much prefer a good pace match over a 6-minute spot fest. Always tells a better story. Absolutely. And the fact that they timed it pretty much perfectly here to be during the commercial break, to have everything outside the ring, not pushing the pace a whole lot, just getting things going by. A Toronto team that can finish what they started. I'm sorry, ever since the Maple Laughs lost to a college team last week, life's just been perfect ever since then, right? So what do you guys, like, for any of you those, wow, English great. Whoa! Moxley had the absolute perfect spacing on that. Hurtful, hurtful, yeah, well, I'm sorry, It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Friday when the Coyotes have their home debut. It's either Friday or Saturday. Can't wait to see the video on that. Don't reset the video so that the camera angles don't show how small the rink is, but did you guys get a chance to see the pictures released today of the dressing room for the opposing team at the oh yes, so Darth Mick, I would just like to say on behalf of, how does it feel to watch the Astros make it to the World Series starting on Friday? Just thought I'd throw that out there too while we're at it. But it's going to be interesting because the Arizona Coyotes, because they are living in a definite, they're in a temporary arena. They didn't have the proper dressing rooms built up for the opposing team. Like, it wasn't a proper size. So they're actually using rooms with curtains. I believe CBS Sports is the one that put it up on the Instagram feed. Literally, they're using like curtained off areas like you would see in a convention center. Under no illusion that we would get very far this year. I think one night we're gonna have to sit down, have some baseball talk here, and we'll have to talk about like how Judge right now might not go back to the Yankees. We all know the Astros cheated. Oh, I really wish Game Time Art was here right now so he could unload on you. Arizona needs to be sold. Absolutely. That was smart by Penta here. Trying to work some way that he could actually break up Moxley's arm there and set it up so he can't set up the Death Rider properly. My God, these shots make it sound like a gun went off. And a shot once again. No way. He was trying to do the destroyer on the floor? Oh, Moxley got the DDT on the stairs. That. In a way, that's a version of a Death Rider, isn't it? Moxley kicking it up to a second gear. After what happened last week, I'd almost like to see him win with that lariat. And then I realized Jamie Hayter won with a lariat, and I don't want him to do that anymore then. Maybe someone could buy the WNBA team, the NBA team, and the AHL team. Phoenix is just bad luck when it comes to buy. Oh my God, that double stomp. Oh my God. Is he actually going to get him? No. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just, there is such bad luck for players and teams that play in Phoenix or in Arizona in general. Buy two, get the third one free. I like that one, Dr. Mario. Oh, and there it is, Death Rider. Oh, paradigm shift. And at least he played it up that he had to do two of them, right? And they finished rather early tonight. Because I didn't even get all our prediction time in there. Oh, shit. Here we go. Here comes the firm. And MJF's going to come out and save Moxley. So I guess Stokely's fired. So are we going to get an MJF spot? We're going to get MJF saving Moxley. Oh, here comes the cannon fodder. So the BCC are locked in. So here comes MJF for the save. They're going to have to fire Stokely out of this if that's the case. That's why you should never have a separate locker room for yourself. He doesn't want to help. He wants to help. He doesn't want to help. He wants to help. You knew this spot was coming after what they did earlier tonight. All right, so now MJF gets beaten down. All right, turn coming. Turn coming. Hopefully this leads to an MJF versus Ethan Page match. I'd like to see that. So they're going to go off the air with MJF getting beaten up. Oh, Ego's Edge. Think this is a ruse? I don't think MJF would take all this for a ruse. No, I got a feeling this is a way that you hold over. You give MJF a feud going into Full Gear because we still got 3 weeks to build this up yet, right? Like we got 3 Dynamites to go yet. Oh. Now does Moxley come over and help MJF? That's the other question. Choke slam through the table. And down. And the table broke. So now we're going to get 1 week of Moxley and MJF versus 2 people of the firm. You know what? If you wanted to make the firm somewhat of a focus, I think this is the way to do it. You want to get them some spotlight? Have them be the henchmen that get MJF and Moxley across the finish line at Full Gear. And after that, you could set up Ethan Page rivalry going out of Full Gear if you want. I know, Darth Vader, you said this is probably this is a ruse. Is the exact quote. I don't think so. I think Tony Khan's just listening to the crowd here and just seeing that they want to cheer for the devil. And the devil wants to do it right. I'll gladly cheer if I end up being had on this, all right? Because if if I end up getting had on this and MJF's completely full of rules, I love being had. Like being predicting things going one way and then all of a sudden going a complete opposite direction. We don't see enough of that in wrestling, and it's so funny to watch how many people complain, whine, moan, groan. I was going to use some other words, but I'm trying to keep it somewhat clean here. That they got fooled. Oh, it's not supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be this way. No. The fact that you thought it was supposed to be this way, it ends up being this way, means that you're a fan and you had to play the role of fan for once, which I'd be all over. But in terms of a night of Dynamite tonight, it was actually a really solid show. We had the Blackpool Combat Club against JAS story continue with everything going on there with Garcia and Castagnoli. Danielson getting victories here. Moxley getting the victory in the main event. They're rolling again. Riho and Hayter was a very good match, setting up Storm versus Hayter coming up in the future. Maybe even in Full Gear. And we end up getting Swerve in Our Glory, earning number one contendership shot against the Acclaimed. I'd assume that's a Full Gear match. And once again, like I said, I think we're going to get FTR versus the Acclaimed at Winter is Coming. Because that low blow will be disputed and they'll get another match and all that stuff. And they're gonna hold out on this FTR getting the championships as long as humanly possible. I think that's fairly obvious in our futures here and in terms of our storylines. Because the more you watch, the more you want to see it. The more basically they're gonna make you beg you to see it. They're like, this has to happen kind of thing. So. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's going on next week. Decent wrestling, good story movement, solid show. It didn't need to be a home run. Like last week, we had the MJF promo that made that show a home run. We don't always need a home run. Sometimes a good solid single or a couple doubles could get you runs just as well. Somebody tell the Yankees that because they needed to learn that a while ago. But when you're always trying to go for a home run and you miss, that's when you're going to get fans starting to get a little upset with you. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week, except for the fact we get to see Darby Allin on my screen again. For those that don't know, Darby Allin, well, I'd like to just play some mortuary music in the background behind every one of his matches because he's just going to die every match. And someday he'll get resuscitated back again and, all that good stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they announce going forward here. And let's not forget probably the most interesting part of the show tonight. That promo from the Elite where they had the Marvel Snap effect there on it. Wherever they got eliminated. And Astrid, I want to give you credit. You sent me this on Twitter, the picture. When they did the final one with the entire Cutler, Omega, Callis, Bucks, the whole group there, when they did the snap on that and they showed an AEW, it disappeared to an AEW and then the E disappeared and then the AEW. So where's that going to go? I got a feeling it's going to come back to being more of an outsiders movement. An outsiders movement, an invasion movement, something like that with the Elite. Because they wouldn't be putting something like this on if Tony Khan was actually firing them, would they? I can't see that. I could see Winter is Coming being a hell of a spot for them to come back. Because you need something special at those highlighted Dynamites. Full Gear, maybe. Full Gear, possibly, but do you really need them back at Full Gear? All depends on, they're starting to slowly build a card, but we're 3 weeks away, and right now we really, after tonight, we only have one match confirmed for Full Gear, and that's now MJF versus Moxley for the Heavyweight Championship. So they're going to have to start putting some stuff together, and now that the clock's going to be turning to November starting next Tuesday, it's going to be interesting to see how they build things up and get these matches set up like this. So, all in all, like I said, it didn't need to be home run, but it did need to have some direction, and it definitely did. So, I'm actually very happy. I'm very happy that it rode on this way, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week here.